Peace and love, all the above. And I'm back. I am back again. Immortal is back with another video. Welcome back to Immortal Knowledge. Now, today I just wanted to speak on one of my very personal experiences of, starting to wake up. All right, my spiritual awakening. Okay, so first thing is first. I know some of you can relate to this. All right, I'll start off with this. During my spiritual awakening, all right, the first thing that started happening, first thing I noticed was I started to question everything, every aspect of my life. I started to question. All right, it started to be a little anguish there. I started questioning everything. It started to be, a little bit uncomfortable. All right, and the thing is, when you're starting to be uncomfortable, that's a sign of growth. All right, because in order to truly grow and evolve and become who you are, there has to be some type of change in your life. There has to be some type of discomfort there. So the first step, in waking up, and I'm sure some of you already know this, you start to question everything. You start to question everything. And being in a cocoon state for so long, once holes start poking through, once holes start poking through that cocoon, it's just crazy. The amount of information that starts flowing through all at once, like the butterfly coming out the cocoon, but once you start cracking that shell or the cocoon, there's no going back. And that's what happened with me. All right. I already kind of consider myself conscious, but there's levels to consciousness. All right. There's levels to consciousness. And I was just at the physical level. I started learning more about myself and my culture and things like that, things of that nature. But when I say my spiritual awakening, I really mean my spiritual awakening, because things started happening, in my life that I could not explain, and it made me seek. It made me delve a little bit further into it, into spirituality and who I truly am. So first and foremost, one of the most one of the best signs that you are having a spiritual awakening is you question everything. As I said before, being in that cocoon state, being asleep for so long in a suspended state, once you start seeing light, it just, you're starstruck. You have to go towards that light, and you start breaking out of that shell, out of that cocoon. And you just want to know as much as possible. And that's what happened to me. At the time, I was working at a library. Okay, I was working at a library, and as I said before, I was questioning everything about my life. So I started to look, but me questioning, these questions being brought up, allowed me to look further or search further. And me being in the library, that's like the perfect place, all of a sudden synchronicity started to happen, numbers started showing up. My first number I ever really noticed, because it showed up like 3 times, like literally in a span of like 5 minutes. So I was like, hold on, something's not right. I need to check out this number. It was 7-11. Okay, a very spiritual number, 711. And you know, after that it was 1111. But that's what got me into the synchronicities, and I started learning about synchronicities and how numbers were actually messages and things of that nature. But that was the number that really highlighted my spiritual awakening. It was 711. All right, and that's what got me into it. Okay, so I was at this library, and you know, at that time I knew, you know, I was being led. So I asked, I said, Spirit, show me what it is I need to see. All right. And at that time, I didn't even know what clairvoyance was, but I got a streak or flash or image in my head. I was like, whoa, what's that? And I see the book. It was white, mostly white, and with red letters. Okay. So I was like, okay, so I need to find this book. And, you know, I knew right then I needed to find that book. So I started asking more questions. And I got a message in my head, like, boom. The message was there. It's like, stop asking questions. You know it when you see it. So I was like, what do you mean? You know, so I'm steady asking questions and everything, and then silence. So I was like, So sure enough, at this library, they have like books for sale or whatever. You know, I walked out the stairway where I was having all the images and you know, the conversation with Spirit or whatever. And I go through the door, and literally to my left, like, the first thing I see is a white and red book. Now, check this out. Spirit definitely has a sense of humor, because this book, the title of this book was literally, This Is For You. Really? And that's what, I couldn't stop laughing to myself. I couldn't stop laughing, like literally, as I picked up this book and looked through it. I couldn't stop laughing. And this was around the time I started learning about shamanism and everything. You know, I started reading shamanism books before, you know, this experience. And it literally aligned up with, you know, everything I was going through. It's just crazy. Like, it lined up. It literally lined up with the book that I found, you know, later on. It tied into it, which was The Way of the Shaman, like the entrance to the lower world. It's like the same picture in this book, and it's saying I was waiting, this and that. And this is why I met my main spirit animal, which was in the lower world. You know, it's just crazy how everything tied in. The synchronicities was absolutely amazing. But spiritual awakening is truly, truly real. A lot of us still don't want to break out of that cocoon. You know, we start getting little glimpses of light, you know, being shown to us, and we still want to stay in that sleep state. We don't want to break out and grow and evolve. We're afraid, you know, but I'm here to tell you, if you haven't already, to go ahead and break it loose. You know, it ain't nothing like the freedom out here, you know, truly starting to understand who you really are, understand how things really are out here. Break out of that first stage of consciousness, which is your physical shell. You know, knowing about self as in, you know, who you are, who your ancestors were, and stuff like that. That's good. But I'm telling you, once you start breaking into true spirituality, you know, start becoming conscious of who you really are energetically, that's when it starts to all line up. Trust me, I've been through it. And it does start to line up. This is very true. But that's it. A little short, quick vid on spiritual awakening and, you know, my experience with it. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, all of that. And I'll catch y'all on my next video. Peace. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And hit that bell on the way out.
And remember, there's power in what you know.